Related to some of you people on the West Coast, you're looking at the beautiful southern city of Atlanta, Georgia. We're at Fulton County Stadium, and the Rams are playing the Atlanta Falcons, and a lot of people that purchased tickets are not here today. The Rams 8-2, Atlanta on the bottom 1-9. San Francisco still lurking there, the defending world champions in this Western division of the NFC. Hi, I'm Tom Brookshire, along with former Super Bowl coach Dick Vermeil. It looks like the Falcons shouldn't bother to play this game with only 1-9, but it's like putting your hand down in a bag with a bunch of rattlesnakes in there. This is the kind of team that might knock you off.
Yeah, right, Tom. You know, the Falcons can't relive the first half of the season, but they could repair it by playing well enough to win today. And the Rams just can't allow that to happen.
And they can't lose to some team they're supposed to win.
Right. If you're a playoff team like the Rams really are, they have playoff teams left to play on their schedule. They can't allow a non-playoff football team to beat them today.
Sounds good. Now, listen, Riggs is the #2 rusher in football. Is that the only way Atlanta can win it, is to come out and just rush the football at the Rams?
Well, they're not going to change their personality. They're going to run it. But to run well against the Rams, you have to block those linebackers. They account for 45% of the Rams' tackles and a secondary that has intercepted 18 passes within that group of 4 people. It's a fine defense.
Well, you can see what a beautiful day it is to come in here just really a couple of weeks before Thanksgiving. It's 76 degrees. The humidity is about halfway, and the natural grass here at Fulton County Stadium will see that the Atlanta team has won something today. They won the toss. Lansford kicking off for Los Angeles. Wagner, Austin, and Allen are waiting. 45,000 tickets were sold, but I would imagine we're in the 30,000 range in attendance. This is Wagner. Young back gets out. Pretty good special teams play for Atlanta all year, and we have the first down. Will be out over the 20-yard line for the Falcons. And here is the Falcon offense. Archer, the young quarterback from Iowa State. He's the scrambling type. Riggs, the #2 rusher in all of football, maybe the best. Benson, Bailey, Billy Johnson. Mike Kinn, Keywell, Van Note, playing in his 225th game as a Falcon. That's not only a record, but it's a heck of an average.
That's a lot of games.
You're looking at the young quarterback who leads the league in scrambling yards, but not necessarily touchdown passes. 1st and 10. Gerald Riggs. Running against a tremendous rush defense of the Rams. Doug Reed, Dejournay, and Reggie Doss up front. How about these linebackers?
Oh, I really like them. I think they're the best group that I've seen all year.
And the secondary, as you said, has 18 interceptions, and the total defense has run in 3 touchdowns just picking off enemy passes. They are a tremendous offensive, defensive football team. 2nd down, 7. One back offense. There's the motion man. That's play action pass. Archer lofting and overthrowing receiver and defender. Billy Johnson, the intended receiver. Gary Green didn't have a chance at corner either.
I think the defensive end got his hands up, Doug Reed, 93, and forced him to throw the ball a little higher than he'd like to, Tom.
What's the story on this young man? Do you like the way he throws? We've talked about it, and we watched him in practice on Friday.
Well, we were both impressed the way he threw the ball in the practice field, but he's not a pinpoint passer, and I think he's going to be a good passer, but right now he's going through his apprenticeship, and that's tough, especially when you're in a struggling program like the Atlanta Falcons are right now.
Replacing Bartkowski, the great one, whose knees have finally given out. For all intents and purposes, young Archer's the quarterback. 3rd down, 7. Archer, complete to the 40-yard line. Anthony Allen with a leaping grab.
This is Anthony Allen's 13th catch of a short career. Free agent out of the USFL. He's going back. He gets nice protection. He's dropping back, shows good poise right there, just sets commonly and throws it down in the zone right there. And Jerry Gray, the #1 draft pick, makes the play.
And, of course, Henning's big project is to try to get on the board early against a team like Los Angeles and make them play catch up.
He'd like to start out with a positive image right there. You know, do something on the good side.
1 and 19. 1st and 10 pass. Play action. Another completion, and it's another one to Allen. Pickup of 5. Dan Henning in his 3rd year. Won 4 games a year ago. Not exactly happy with the situation, but a very confident coach and hasn't lost control of the team at all. There's a man that in his 3rd year and has been in the playoffs with the Rams, his new team, both years.
You know, he's never experienced a losing season. They really, you know,
Coach
actually as
at
a coach,
SC?
as a coach, as a head coach.
Gosh, he doesn't know what coaching's all about.
It might have something to do with his ability, you know.
It does. Second down and 4. Atlanta moving. Charlie Brown now in there as a receiver. A lot of pressure put on Archer, and he finally has to throw it short, intended for Bailey.
This Mike Wilcher, number 54, lined up right over here as a backer, comes around and gives him a shot on the backside. Now, Wilcher has 8 sacks on the year already. He's a big physical guy. Now, watch him get up and keep coming. The coverage downfield forced him to hold on the ball, and that was just enough to get Wilcher get there.
An exploding defensive linebacker that really sort of come out of nowhere to take that job and maybe hold it no matter what. It's third down and 4 to go. In the sunshine at Atlanta. Archer throwing off balance and underthrown. He was under a big rush by Wilcher again.
I tell you, if you're going to beat this Ram defense, you got to block those linebackers. And this Wilcher is a guy filling in for the injured George Andrews. Is a fine linebacker in his own right, as we all know. But this guy is a big playmaker.
And remember, from the Rams' viewpoint, is to take any idea that this upstart team has of upsetting them today. And Donnelly, of course, is the punter, had a great day kicking against Philadelphia in the overtime loss a week ago.
On the practice field Friday, he was really hanging it deep, Tom.
You're looking at Ellard and Johnny Johnson. Oh, man, this is something.
That is a beauty.
We'll give you a hang time on it. Fair caught at the 10-yard line.
4-9, Tommy.
4-9. Henry Ellard has it up. And the Rams will put the ball in play. The shots that Bob Michelson, our cameraman up there with the pilots Dexter and Zalotti and the McDonald blimp. Beautiful downtown shot right to the stadium and zooming right in on the Los Angeles Rams' first offensive snap. Tony Hunter and Dieter Brock, who's back from the kidney stone operation and looked very good in practice.
He has a little pad right there in that lower hip area, and we've got a good look at it during a warm-up this morning, Tom, but he feels very confident he's ready to play.
That's a very painful thing to get through, kidney stone. First and 10. We'll set the offense and defense for Atlanta in just a moment. Ball's on the 11-yard line. Toss back to Dickerson. A 2-back attack as Redden was in there. Maybe a couple of yards picked up. Benish making the tackle. Here it is. Dieter Brock is back, and he says he feels fine. Dickerson, Tony Hunter, Ellard, and Ron Brown starting there as Duckworth has the tender shoulder. Pankey at left tackle perhaps to stay. Kent Hill, Doug Smith, Dennis Harrah making a big return to the lineup for the past couple of weeks. Jackie Slater and the tight end who's as big as an offensive tackle, David Hill.
5 of those 6 guys have been in the Pro Bowl, Tom. Very fine group.
Not flamboyant, but effective. Second down 9. Only a gain of 1 for Dickerson. Brock's first pass. Complete to the 18-yard line to Tony Hunter. The defense has had its problems. Rick Bryan, Mike Pitts, Benish, and Gann have not been that problem, though. Pitts is having a great year.
They're the strength of the defense, Tom.
Little trouble here. Rady. Curry is not playing with a sprained ankle suffered Friday. Washington in there. Al Richardson, an outside linebacker, and the secondary had better strap it up. Butler, Kaysen, Scott Case, and Tiger Green are going to really have a tough day. Third down 2. Facing the Rams. Ball's at the 21. Redmond Dickerson in the eye. First down out to the 25, pulling players with him, is the man who had 21:05 a year ago rushing. That's 2,105 yards.
He's off pace right now, Tom, but I think he's making a move. 2 100-yard games back-to-back, gaining confidence, and I don't care how great you are. You missed training camp, you're not as good as you ought to be, and that's being exemplified all through the league. Marino back, you know, not where he was. This guy not where he was, but he's coming on.
And of course, as Johnny Robinson says, the good teams get better as they head for the playoffs. First and 10.
Watch the counter. Get it.
Brock, straight drop. Good throw outside, number 89, Ron Brown. Fumbles the football. Picked up. Scott Case runs it back to the Los Angeles 25. Brock Kid Brown, the Olympic sprinter. And then he fumbled it.
Yeah, there's just a little hitch pass, and you'll see him get it tucked away. He has it nicely tucked in his right arm. He's let the elbow get out away from the body right there. He got hit from behind, and there it is on the ground, a live ball. Scott Case, number 25, a free safety, now becomes a running back looking for his help.
The ball is placed at the 24, the number 2 draft out of Oklahoma. And boy, Atlanta looks like they're going to play it pretty tough today. Crowd likes it. 1st and 10. Straight handoff. Gerald Riggs stacked up by that defense. Boy, the linebackers filled the holes very quickly. Reggie Doss early, then Mel Owens. McNeil, the smooth running man for the New York Jets at 10:52, but Riggs at 1,015 yards.
You know, and the fascinating thing about that is that Riggs has not fumbled the ball once this year and lost it.
Remarkable. You coached him in an all-star game once, didn't you?
We won, needless to say.
Gave him the ball a lot.
like him. Yeah.
He likes to be busy and carry the ball a lot. 2nd down 7. Archer firing and trying for Anthony Allen. Good defense by Green.
Gary Green is a real hitter as a secondary player. Now watch the quarterback. It's going to be a short drop. 1, 2, 3, plant, throw the slant pattern. Here it comes. He has a throwing lane. He goes up after it, and Gary Green goes after the ball at its highest point. Now that's the 8th time this year he's knocked it down. But I'll tell you this, he has 5 pass interceptions.
Some cornerback obtained a good trade with Kansas City. He's worth the exchange on that. Charlie Brown is in now. And Joe Washington is in. The man is great on 3rd down. Archer going up for it. Touchdown. No, it's ruled out of bounds. The official right down there on Bob Frederick's crew said that Stacey Bailey did not come down inside.
Right on the left side of your screen there, you're going to see him 1 foot down. Let's watch his right foot closely. Out of bounds all the way. Good call by the official.
Frederick's crew is here. Bob Frederick, a man that's been around this league for 20 years, and Big Mike Kinn, the all-pro offensive tackle, is in pain.
I'll tell you, this would really hurt him if he couldn't play, because they're already 1 offensive tackle short in Brett Miller, their starting, and their backup tackle, Eric Sanders, is playing right tackle now. Bill Fralick would have to move to right tackle, I would imagine. You'll watch the right of your screen now. Here is Mike Kinn. He is the offensive left tackle on the right of your screen. Now, Gary Jeter, number 77, is working his way underneath. Ken, the All-Pro's, doing a super job right there. And one of his own players comes in from the backside and hits his knee. It looked like the quarterback.
Well, the offensive linemen usually know where the opposition is. It's behind them where they can't have eyes in the back of their head. Mike Kinn, the All-Pro, is down. We'll keep you posted. No score. When you're 6'7", 277, you still have a normal human being's knee or ankle, and he's making sure he's going to go off on wheels. That's Mike Kinn.
Jerry Ray, the trainer right there, is working with him, and Dan Henning right now is hoping, like I would, is sitting on the sideline, is that the initial pain scare the players so much that they overreact to it, and as soon as the pain eases, they can find out whether it's really injured seriously or not. Let's hope that it's not injured seriously.
Crowd is very appreciative, and they should. He's one of the great, consistent football players, an 8-year pro and all-pro most of that time.
5 consecutive Pro Bowls. The adjustment will be, Tom, Bill Fralick, 79, has to go to right tackle, I would believe. 70, yes, 70. Oh, they're field goaling here, so we can't
All
tell.
right, Luckhurst is trying a 39-yard field goal attempt. Archer, the quarterback, is the holder. Remember, Luckhurst, the left-handed Englishman.
He's 100% this year from this distance.
And the first lead goes to the Atlanta Falcons. And the Rams had better watch out. Don't fumble and turn it over and let the team in red get into this ball game. The Atlanta play selection, Dick, was rather interesting. 7 passes and 2 runs, their first 9 offensive plays.
Well, they're going to challenge him. You know, offensive teams throw the ball versus the Rams 56% of the time. So I don't think it's unusual because they really respect the front 7 of that defense.
College football's run for the Roses concludes next Saturday with a game that could determine the Big Ten champion. The 3rd-ranked Ohio State Buckeyes visit the 8th-ranked Michigan Wolverines next Saturday, 1:30 Eastern, 10:30 Pacific, right here on CBS Sports. By the number 3 Buckeyes, by the way, were beaten by Wisconsin, upset 12-7 yesterday, to really knock them out of a chance for that Rose Bowl. There's downtown Atlanta. This is about the nicest weather at this time of the year I've ever found here.
We did the first game of the year here, and it was just like this then in September.
You mean this year?
Yeah, this year.
When you came in here as a visiting coach, was this a good place to bring your team?
I had some bad memories here. I can remember Claude Humphrey. Claude Humphrey, you know, is a great player, and then I had the opportunity to coach him later on. Number 87, and Zook. They sacked us about 11 times between the two of them one day and just whipped the daylights out of us when I was coaching at the Rams.
The Happy Zooker, they called him. Remember, he was some kind of a great defensive man.
Oh.
Cleveland 3, Buffalo 0. Browns are still in that Central Division. Anybody comes out of 9-7 is going to win it, maybe. St. Louis, a touchdown, an extra point over 7-0, trailing the Philadelphia Eagles. And 3-0, the field goal. Indianapolis, shocking the Dolphins to start with. A lot of people have done that. Luckhurst kicking off. He didn't drive this one too deep. It's at the 4-yard line. Ron Brown. Oh, that's not Brown. Charlie White. Fumble, Atlanta has it. Charlie White hit hard. Fumbles at the 17-yard line. Taylor made the tackle for Atlanta.
Here's Charlie White, number 33, right in the middle of your screen. He's got it tucked away nicely in his left arm right now. He gets into adversity right there. It gets knocked out by a person he didn't expect to hit him. He wasn't really prepared for the unexpected hit.
2 fumbles by Los Angeles, both recovered by the Falcons, and Johnny Robinson knows, take no one for granted in this league.
They've got to play tough defense inside the 20. They don't have many yards down here to defend, so they just got to get after him, Tom.
Archer with the offense. 1st and 10 on his 17, they've placed it. Misdirection roll. He's going to run with it. This is a through-the-sky play to the 15-yard line. Mel Owens trailed and knocked the quarterback out. He's the leading scrambler of all the quarterbacks right now in average per carry, isn't he?
Well, first off, I think, Tom, he broke the all-time Atlanta Falcon quarterback running record this year.
There's Archer with a 5.9 average. John Elway, the man from the Broncos, 5'6". McMahon, 5-0, the buzzsaw from Chicago. Right now, we've got Atlanta with a 3-0 lead and trying to get more after 2 fumbles. 2nd down 8 on the 15.
They've scored 20 out of 22 times inside the 20 times, so they're very efficient.
Inside trap play. Gerald Riggs to the 2.5-yard line.
Did you see what he did then?
He ran over a couple of people.
Watch Cliff Benson coming in motion now as he comes in and gets his trap block here, and then 42 Riggs, the running back. Watch him get his trap. Now watch him bounce to the left. It's clogged up in there. Now watch the power. Forward body tilt. He gives you nothing to hit squarely. Look at good body tilt, good power in a big running back. 230
pounds and a 12-yard scamper, if you can call that. But I'll tell you, he's fast, too. He's not just big, slow power. He's quick. 1st and goal for the Falcons. Touchdown. A 3-yard touchdown run, and the fans that did show up in Atlanta are enjoying it. It's their day in the sun, perhaps.
Here's the advantage of the one-back attack as he comes in motion here, and he traps on the defensive end, and they run right up inside it. Now watch the man in motion. Now look and time it. There he goes and gets a hit on Reed, 93, and he gets right up inside there. Does a nice job of powering his way for the first touchdown.
Luckhurst now will try to tack on. Look out, the Los Angeles Express is bogging down. It's 10-0 Atlanta. Dan Henning, the team has won 1 and lost 9, and a vicious schedule. We'll go into that later. Boy, what a day to jump out on the Rams heading for the playoffs and lead 10-0 with 8:57 left in the first quarter. Back deep, Charlie White and Ron Brown, and Luckhurst is kicking off. This is to Brown. Ron Brown.
They didn't want it.
hit at the 22-yard line. He's the one that had the 89-yarder against the Giants. Let's go to Brent Musburger now in New York. Brent?
Rookie, they had a power outage over in the Meadowlands, so the game was delayed 15 minutes, and the Buccaneers hauled back the opening kickoff, and Steve DeBerg went 39 yards to Kevin House, and it's 7-0. The Buccaneers lead the Jets. Let's go back to Brookie.
How about that? 2 upsets in a row for Lehman Bennett's Tampa Bay team.
Yeah, well, it's early. You know, they've led all the time in that first part of the ball game. I'd like to see him play well, though.
1st and 10 now. The Rams have fumbled twice consecutively. And boy, the Atlanta team jumped on both of them. 1st and 10 carry. Eric Dickerson. Stacked up, not much. Rady, John Rady, number 59, filling quickly. We just mentioned both of those fumbles. One led to a field goal, the other to a touchdown. Boy, coach, those can really add up. The whole game is turnover takeaway anyway.
Well, a fumble will cost you 3 points. Normally, 1 plus fumble.
The computer readout on that crazy oblong ball, and it does do strange things. 2nd down, and still almost 10. Rollout, Brock chased, and dumps it short of Hunter. Pretty good pass rush put on by the Falcons.
Good pressure, and he was falling away from the throw, and he just didn't get it there. That's all. It was good pressure by the defense. A little play action.
This defensive club has given up a lot of points for the Falcons this year. It's not all their fault, though. Some of the offensive ineptness has to be accredited to that. Huh?
Right, well, they're giving up over 30 points a game, and that's last in football. It's hard to be excited about that.
Dickerson is out, and Barry Redden is in. Peter Brock back to throw. The safety blitz is on. Good pickup and almost intercepted. Intended for Duckworth. And I believe Scott Case made the leaping try for it. Good defense by Atlanta.
It was a safety right over here. They're doubling up with a corner and a safety on the receiver. And you'll see right now, see him playing him short to the right of the screen. He goes in. Now watch the safety react back to the outside. Here he comes, zoning off and doubling that deep half the field. Good job of defense by Tommy Pridemore, number 27.
Another man that puts ice on the punts, Dale Hatcher.
That one he punted
Back
yesterday.
to run back is Anthony Allen. Hatcher has hit the gondola at the Superdome, and not many punters have done that. This is a beautiful kick. Anthony Allen at the 31-yard line. Anthony Allen out to the 47-yard line. I thought I saw a flag down in there, but
yeah,
hopefully we're wrong.
Flag down on the 35. That was a 4-7 punt, Tom, but that one he hit in the stadium here yesterday as we watched him work out, I thought it was going out of the stadium.
A spaceship. That was a 47-yard punt, but a nice 17-yard return. Bob Frederick calling the illegal block on the punt return team for Atlanta. The Atlanta team has been plagued with penalties also this year.
Illegal block on the kick return team, number 27.
You know, Tom, you're talking about penalties. That is more often not a personality and part of a losing team. They are more normally the most penalized team.
Atlanta up 10-0. What's Johnny Robinson thinking about? Is he just trying to maintain now? He's the captain of the ship?
Well, he's not a panic guy. He's notoriously cool under pressure, and I really believe all he's realizing now, they're 2 plays out of this thing, and they can get that in any quarter.
And he's got one of the best defenses in the league. They better start playing that way. Archer back to throw. Flags are down. Gerald Riggs has it to the 25-yard line. The flags were down early on that. Illegal motion procedure by Atlanta. Somebody must have shifted off and not enough down linemen or etc.
Tom, there could be a glaring problem growing within the offensive line of the Atlanta Falcons because they now have shifted 2 offensive linemen to different positions, which they really aren't.
Illegal motion on the offense, number 88, and it will be declined.
They aren't as well prepared to play those positions. You have a guy that's been playing guard, playing left tackle in Eric Sanders, who started the game at right tackle. Then you have your right guard, Bill Frelick, number 79, playing right tackle, and then a backup coming in playing guard.
And Frelick only came out of Pittsburgh about 4 months ago.
Yes, right.
He's a rookie, so that is a patchwork unit. Bechtel doing a heck of a job as the coach with that unit, but sometimes when you don't know who's in there. Now Freilich has moved out to right tackle, as you said. He's the big #1 draft.
Is he a man or is he a man?
And he's just growing. 2nd down and 7. Ball's on the 26. That's quick draw. Gerald Riggs. Storming out looks like enough for a 1st down. It'll be close. Nolan Cromwell had to make that tackle whether he liked it or not.
Take a look at this draw. Normally you run the draw off the movement of the nose guard. Let's see if he does this. Follow the nose guard. He jumps to the left. Look at him. He's running it back to the right. Here he comes. Finds a way through, running like a man possessed. Notice how low he keeps those shoulders.
A man possessed. I like that.
He's running with more confidence than he's ever run with right now, and he wants to be the best in football. Looks like he's going to make it.
Got a good block from Van Note, who is certainly the gray beard of offensive linemen. Pass action play, and missed Riggs as 2 linebackers jumped on the running back, young Archer. It looked like he might have forced that throw a little bit.
He did. You know something? If I were Riggs, I wouldn't want to catch that ball in front of number 50, Jim Collins. He decapitates receivers in his area when they catch it in front of him.
I was in error. They had not made a 1st down on that last gallop by Riggs, so they were about a foot short, and this will bring up a 4th down now. Donnelly kicking to Henry Ellard. Of punt return fame. He had an 80-yarder against the Eagles earlier in the year.
This guy is fascinating. He's number 3 in the NFL and number 1 in the NFC in returning punts.
And Donnelly among the leaders in punt. This is a tremendous kick.
Yeah, but it's a return-type ball.
Henry Ellard at the 22-yard line. And returning. Henry Ellard to the 37.5-yard line before he's tackled by Tommy Pridemore. A reminder, next Saturday on CBS Sports, Billy Packer and Jim Nantz will host a 1-hour special on the upcoming NCAA basketball season. And in 2 weeks, game coverage begins with a matchup of teams ranked #1 and #2. Georgia Tech and Michigan. The road starts right here. Next Saturday at 5 o'clock Eastern Time, 2 o'clock Pacific on CBS Sports. Well, there's nothing like good NCAA basketball, and they're starting out already.
It just leads to the Final Four, right?
That's it, and Georgia Tech right here in Atlanta. They think they've got the team that can do it. 1st and 10. Ball is on the 37. Rams offense has done nothing. Dickerson over the 40 to the 41. And sort of massaged there. He had a couple of people lay it on him.
Well, you're looking at a defensive line in Rick Bryan, number 77, the left defensive end, and Mike Pitts, the left tackle, number 74, both #1 picks. They ought to be able to play pretty good defensive line play.
Yeah. The Atlanta defense has had some stinging criticism of it. Whether the backs can cover it all, they don't get a pass rush and they need it. But you don't build a team in this league in one day, and not with the schedule they had. 2nd down and 6. Rams trying to get charged up a little bit. Brock overthrowing Tony Hunter at the Atlanta 45. Hunter that time was covered by the linebacker.
The Rams offensive line is really well coached. Now you watch these people here sort of nicely pick up all the cross charges used by the Atlanta defensive rush. Now look at them cross charging there. Look at them picking up. Hudson Houck, the offensive line coach, does an awfully nice job with these people.
How does Brock look to you today? Is he throwing easily? Do you think that kidney stone operation is hurting?
He hadn't been on the field long enough to be evaluated so far.
Okay. Brock is 2 of 5 for 18 yards, and it's a 3rd down and 6. Single back is Redden. Brock being chased and sacked and fumbles a football. Atlanta has it. If that's called a fumble, they're saying it was not a fumble. The crowd says it was a quick whistle. Dan Henning thinks it was a fumble. Hatcher is back to kick for the Rams. Boy, that would have been the 3rd fumble lost in the 1st quarter of play. We still have 5:29 left in the 1st. Anthony Allen's going to get the run back. A good kick. Fair catch even called for, but you don't have to exercise. Now it's taken. Anthony Allen breaks out and caught the Rams sleeping.
It appears to me, as you follow the quarterback right here, dropping back, that he really was in the act of throwing the ball. Now watch his right arm as he starts to throw. He's up in the pocket. He's starting to throw the ball. Good call by the official.
You think he was passing that football?
Yeah, I think he was trying. Either that or he was yelling for help, one or the other.
The ball was spinning on his right hand. I know that. He looked like he was trying to jack it and move under. At any rate, a great opportune play by young Anthony Allen, who made it look like he was not going to handle the ball and got it back in good shape. 1st and 10 on the 35. Boy, the Falcons really look alert. Out in the flat, Riggs. He's got it on the double catch to the 39. Tackled by Mel Owens. Let's go to Brent Musburger in New York. Brent?
Well, Brookie, the Cowboys with...
The perfect Bears if they are, huh?
Right. Tommy, you notice what Coach Henning is doing with the young quarterback Archer? He's throwing a lot of short stuff that just about anybody could complete and get his confidence up.
And throwing a lot. That's the name of the game today. 2nd down, 6. Now the handoff to Riggs. Looking for him, gets none. Good defense. Mel Owens in particular for the Rams. We just received word Mike Kinn, the all-pro offensive left tackle, injured knee ligaments in his right knee and will not return.
I just hope it's a strain.
An exciting Atlanta team today, and the Rams look like they've been on a long trip, even though they came in a day early and got rested in. They're slow starting. Some of the scores elsewhere. Indianapolis on top of Miami 10-3, no score. Green Bay and New Orleans. Tampa trying to upset those Jets. 3rd down and 5 on the 40. Archer. He can run. Now he dumps it off, and it's hit by Johnny Johnson and spiked away from a possible completion.
Look at Archer. He had him. He said, oh, my gosh, we had a big play. Look at him. What a super young man to visit with, but what a hard way to come up in the league. Be the starter, and because your starting quarterback, Bartkowski, cannot play, that's a lot of pressure on a guy.
Should he have put the ball away and run for the 1st down that time?
I think he did the right thing, you know,
Okay.
really.
The battle of the punters. The 2 of the 3 best punters in football are here. Donnelly's going to be kicking to Johnny Johnson, who just made a spectacular spike of that Archer pass.
Lousy punt.
A bad kick. We finally did it. We put the hex on him. A good roll, though, for Atlanta inside the 10. This is going to look good in the scoreboard section of your newspaper. 52-yard punt, no return.
That's a 52-yard bunt.
We thought he sculled the shot. John Robinson doesn't show a lot of emotion, but he did against the New York Giants. He thought a couple of calls didn't look right.
Field position is so critical right now. Look at where they're starting again, down inside their own 10-yard line. They have a long ways to go to score. You know, there's 17,600 square yards on a football field, and they got a long ways to go.
That's bigger than my ranch.
Not quite.
1st down and 10.
You're a big spender, aren't you?
Oh, yeah. 1st down and 10. Ball's on the 8-yard line. Boy, the Rams have had awful field position. Quick move by Dickerson after the handoff from Brock to the 14-yard line. Mike Gann making his 1st tackle.
Talking about field position, Tom, that guy, Dickerson, can change the position on the field quicker than any running back in football.
Great speed. He ran a 9.400 as a schoolboy down in Sealy, Texas. And he has grown up. Boy, what a great all-around athlete. And he's a workhorse. He's almost back to perhaps the shape he was a year ago. 2nd down, 4. Inside trap by Hunter, the motion man. Maybe a yard and a half. Rick Bryan getting the former SMU All-American and hog-tying him.
They're committing 8 people up here to stop the run right now, and it appears to me that the Rams are going to have to get after him throwing the football. There's 8 people up there to stop the run, almost too many people to block.
And here's the Atlanta defense that giving up 30 points a game, and the Rams can't even get out of the shadow of their own goalpost.
Well, this field position restricts a lot of the things you can do.
2:20 left in the 1st quarter. All Atlanta so far. draw, misdirection by Dickerson. He gets to the 16-yard line. Get the punter warmed up. A fired-up Atlanta defense. And the crowd, while not large, is fired up.
You're going to see this running back right now, and they're attacking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people right in there in front of them, and they're not doing it successfully. It's an odd defense right now. Now look, a little trap. They're trying to get in there with their famous run, and they just can't get it.
As you said, put 6 men on Dickerson, and that's just about enough to get him short of a first down. It'll bring up that 4th down. Hatcher now with a 45-yard average. Oh, this is a pretty good kick. The dangerous Allen. Fair catches at the 41. His own. It's 10-0 Atlanta here in the first quarter. Let's go to Brent Musburger.
Rookie, here's one the coach will love.
Yeah, Brett, that's the reason those Bears are unbeaten. Boy, they don't think anybody can touch them. And the Rams have sort of run into a team here that wants to say, well, we may be home for the playoffs watching them, but we're going to make you guys pay today. 1st and 10. Ball on the 41. Archer is a young quarterback out of Iowa State. He's learning on-the-job training. Handoff. Riggs cutting back inside. Tackled by Doug Reed. The offensive line has been, of course, one of the strong parts of this Atlanta team for years, and now it's just injured. Scully went down against the Dallas Cowboys a couple of weeks ago. Today, Mike Ken, the big all-pro tackle on the left side, went down. Fralick, the rookie #1 draft, is now moved from right guard to right tackle. But they're playing and leading 10-0. 2nd down 7. Riggs gets away from secondary tackling and storms into Los Angeles territory. Close to a first down.
The big offensive tackle right here, Bill Fralick, does a nice job of blocking the defensive end, 93, Doug Reed. He knocks him off the ball. That's a super block. Now, he got some help from the tight end, so you should be able to move him off.
The amazing thing was Cromwell, I believe number 21, came up and couldn't get his arms around Riggs's waist to even make the tackle. He's so big.
Well, he gets the pads down and the elbows down there, and he doesn't give you anything to hit. He's not real tall in just being 6'1" for a 230-pounder, but he really runs low.
He's got legs like a Percheron, the big workhorse, too.
A what?
That's a giant horse.
Oh, is it?
Green Bay 3, New Orleans 0 in the second quarter. Buffalo leading Cleveland 7-3. Pittsburgh 3-0 in the first. Philadelphia 14-7 over St. Louis. And as Brett told you, Chicago 7, Dallas 0. But that's not a final. 1st and 10 on the 49. Boy, Atlanta's jazzed up. Handoff, Riggs. Hit, drop, spins, and picks up a yard. Doug Reed hanging on.
That Doug Reed really plays well. Here's a guy as a 4th-round pick in '83 out of San Diego State. Not much expected of him this year, and he shows up playing for Jack Youngblood and really plays well.
10-0 Atlanta after 1.
Buy light beer from Miller. Everything you've always wanted in a beer and less. And buy Subaru. Inexpensive and built to stay that way.
Oh, get that. Live from Fulton County Stadium after 1 quarter. Can you imagine that? Atlanta 10-0. Atlanta's used 10 runs, 11 passes, 2 recovered fumbles to make this man happy.
I'll tell you, he has a tremendous resilience to the problems he's facing. He says focus on the positive. They've closed the first half of the season. In fact, what they do, Tom?
Well, they got together and buried the first 9 games, and Billy Johnson, White Shoes, said a prayer, and they buried it and burned the
box and everything else.
They picked the most valuable players, if there were any, from those losing games, and said, let's play the last few games and have some fun, and they are today. 2nd down 9, facing the Falcons. They're just into Ram territory at the 48. Back to throw. Archer dumps it to Riggs. He's tackled. Still gets ahead to the 43-yard line with a lunge. Carl Eckern getting the call for stopping this man, the earth mover.
This Carl Eckern has already made 70 tackles coming into this football game. He had 131 on the year last year. He loves to hit people. We were watching practice yesterday. Everybody was off the field. I look over there, and here's a guy in a gray T-shirt, no number. He's running wind sprints, and it's Saturday. You know who it was? It was Carl Eckern.
Yeah,
I'll tell you, there's a guy that's motivated.
There's an overachiever that's at all-pro status, and deservedly so. 3rd and 4 on the 43. Inside handoff. Riggs. Just tick carry, rushing. Gets inside the 40. DeJournay stopping him.
You know, there haven't been many running backs run for 100 yards in a game against the Rams.
Over the years, since Robinson's been there, they haven't been hardly any at all. Moriarty from Houston.
Right. Only 5 players have rushed for 100 yards or more in the last 45 games. So you have to earn them. And this guy, if he does make 100 yards, will break an Atlanta Falcon record, being the first guy to ever run for 100 yards 4 games in a row.
What a record. Andrews injured and perhaps never to play again, and this young man was there waiting. 4th down and 1. Riggs is now at 40 yards on 10 carries.
You have nothing to lose by doing this with your record, but I still believe you're better off punting it out of the end zone.
But you're leading by 10-0. Can you stop trying to put points on? Riggs gets the 1st down, but not by a lot. Let's say, was there a fumble? Greg Meisner sliding over from the nose to stop that on short yardage.
You mentioned Greg Meisner. He's a Pennsylvanian out of the University of Pittsburgh. Loves to hunt. Academic All-American.
He just hunt and found Gerald Riggs.
He's a turkey hunter. You're hard to get.
Are you calling Riggs a turkey?
No. No, I wouldn't do that. He's too big.
And he got the 1st, but not by much. There's Meisner.
I really like him. I really like to watch him play. He has been playing more as the season went on, and I think he's a good football player. 1st and 10. Crowd getting into this game, and boy, the Falcons, they're not impressed with the press clippings from Los Angeles. Inside drive. That's Ken Tyrell. Boy, pretty good hole opened up. Mel Owens getting the call. Take a look at real good offensive lineman play. These big guys just coming off, base blocking there. Watch them come off. Come off the ball. Now look at coming off there. Now guard coming around. See him pulling trap. Nice job. Nice job. Right guard pulled around the center and got up inside. Pellegrini, young Ivy Leaguer playing guard and tough. He's hard-nosed. Smart guard. 2nd down 5. Toss. Back to Austin. Gets to the outside. Gets good blocking. Still on his feet, steps out of bounds. Let's see where they mark it, around the 21-yard line. Cliff Austin made the corner in a hurry. A big offensive lineman pulled. I'm not so sure it wasn't this big tackle. I couldn't see it from here. Let's see. Yeah, there he goes. Big Eric Sanders. He gets all around at about 280 pounds, number 67. Does a nice job, gets a knockdown block. Austin moves up in there. Remember now, Austin is the guy that returned one of the 2 kickoffs in the NFL this year for a touchdown, so he can run in that open field. Pretty cute to put Austin in now to give a change of pace against the pounding of Riggs. A 12-yard gain and a big 1st down. Ball's on the 21. Here's Austin. He's got speed. Inside the 15 to the 12. Let's go to Brent Musburger. Brent?
Well, Brookie, the Jets gave up 14 quick points to the Bucks, and now they've tied it. Ken O'Brien, 22 yards to Wesley Walker. 14 TV passes this year for O'Brien. Let's go back to Brookie and Dick.
We're talking, Brent, Dick Vermeil and all of us at dinner, and we think there's a slight possibility of a New York Super Bowl. If the Giants would get hot and the Jets are playing so well, they could end up playing in the big one.
You think New York can handle that?
I don't know, boy.
The city, that is.
2nd down and 2 run by Gerald Riggs. He can move the sticks. They are taking the Rams apart where they live.
You know what's happening is what Dan Henning wanted to happen. He wanted to have positive results. Here's your big running back just taking it up in there. Look at that. Just take nothing fancy, just taking it up there, running off the block of the center. Taking it up in there. He said, if we could do something positive and sort of boost our self-image early in the ball game, he said, I think we could play a lot better football.
Against the 3rd best ranked rushing defense in the league.
Well, Of course, the game's not over, but they're starting out the way you ought to start out.
You saw the numbers on Riggs. We're not even close to halfway yet. We got 10:38 left before half, and he's at 40-something yards. First and goal from the 6. Riggs stumbling to the 5.
Really good blocking. You know, they're running the Rams plays against the Rams. That's the same one that Eric Dickerson runs so well.
And Coach Robinson is saying don't encourage Atlanta any further.
Yeah.
Because getting a lead against the overpowering favorite is a good thing to do if you want to upset them.
Yeah, and the thing I think he's concerned about is they're not really a catch-up type football team. They're a ball control, play good defense football team.
Yeah, we've seen them have a lot of trouble when they had to try to catch up against San Francisco and a couple of other people. Second down and goal from the 5. To the 3, Gerald Riggs. Good defense here. As you said, when the get inside that 5-yard line, the field shrinks up a lot, doesn't it?
Well, you bet. It goes from 57,000 square yards down to 4,800 square yards inside that 20-yard line. And I used to think about that all the time, Tom, because you defensively, you say, well, you're fighting in a smaller ring now. Just fight a little harder. They can't run away and hide from you down there. You know, should be able to stop them. But offenses, you know, get paid to move it in there, too.
Third and goal from the 3. We're live from Atlanta. Atlanta leads 10-0. Handoff. Riggs trying, bucking for the goal line. Big barrier thrown up then. Will Henning try to break it down or take the kick?
I think if I were him right now, I would try to go for the six-point play.
He checked with a special teams coach, Frisch, right there to see if he thought he could get it through. I don't think that is Frisch next to him, but he asked.
No, that's Larry Bechtel, the fine offensive line coach. But I think he might as well, because you've got to figure that the Rams have, you know, potent receivers, and they can come back with the big play people. And if you're down this close, we may not get back down here the rest of the ball game. Let's take advantage of it.
Well, that was Bechtel in the offensive line coach saying, we can do it. Let's go ahead.
Guys will block him, he said.
Riggs and Tyrell in there. Short yardage offense. 3 tight ends.
Oh, they gave it to him.
Riggs, touchdown. His second this afternoon, and it's early.
This looks awfully close. Now, focus your attention right on the goal line to the left side of your screen. It's going to reappear now as he's in the air. So far, he has not scored. It wasn't close. Now he's in. Oh, that's a late whistle. That is a real late whistle.
Luckhurst.
Hey, when it goes your way, it goes your way. Even the officials like it.
They've had a lot of things go against them, though, Atlanta has all year long. Not this time. Riggs gets one for the last leap on the goal line. It's 17-zip. Well, Tom Brookshire and Dick Vermeil, there is some question about the touchdown.
Looking at it from here, I don't believe he scored. Now, of course, I'm not down on the field. He definitely didn't get across, and it appeared to me that the whistle should have been blown here. Now, other than they ruled that maybe he never touched the ground and gave it to him there, but
he was up on bodies as he went over the stack.
I kind of feel Santa Claus came early.
Nick Luckhurst is kicking for the corner, trying to kick away from Brown, but that's who's waiting for it. Ron Brown switched with Charles White, still on his feet, gets out over the 20. Good coverage by the special teams for Atlanta, and that's one area where the Falcons have played tough all year. Next Sunday is doubleheader day on CBS Sports. It all starts with the NFL today. The Falcons against, boy, I told you about their schedule. They have the Bears next week. That starts at 12:30 Eastern time. And then, of course, some of you will see the second game is the Eagles going into Dallas to
Don't
do
count
battle.
the Eagles out. They're coming on strong, Tom. They really are.
You used to take your team in there, did some great things.
We went in there to kill, take no prisoners.
The Ram offense has had the ball for 5 minutes and 59 seconds. That's not much. And they have no points. Brock back to throw. Dropped by David Fry.
I believe they have a tight end lined up in the backfield, 81, David Hill, in front of Eric Dickerson. Little play action. Yes, it is. Little play action. He lays it out there in the flat nicely. Looks like a nice throw, spiraling nice. He doesn't see the underneath coverage in David Pride. If he picks that, it's 6 points. And David doesn't have an interception on the year.
He still doesn't.
He still doesn't.
Second down and 10. Rams only have 1 first down. Brock's throwing a lot. He's gone away from the rushing game, and now he's sacked at the 15. They're getting to throw the ball a lot. They're not staying with Dickerson.
You have to give the credit to the pass coverage that time. I really believe the Rams ought to get after these guys deep and threaten that one-on-one coverage. They have great speed out there in Brown and Eller. Get after them, loosen them up, and don't allow them to gain confidence playing that tight coverage.
Rady got that last sack, bringing up third down now and 17 to go. Boy, the Falcons are exerting the pressure on the team that's leading the division by 2 games. The quick draw, Redden, chased back. Ooh, stormed out of bounds.
That looked like it ought to be a personal foul. No, it looks like he had him around the helmet.
Scott Case, the man who hit you before or after the play.
Now, it looked like they had him up around the helmet, Tom, from all the way across here. We don't have a great shot at it. This guy does like to hit, though.
A swarming red helmeted defense today.
I can just hear him back in L.A. right now and say, what are they doing running a draw on 3rd and 17? But back down there, inside that 10-yard line, 15-yard line, you can't take many chances.
Dale Hatcher kicking from the Ram end zone. Anthony Allen, who has proved to be very dangerous on these punt returns.
Not a good punt.
At the 50, Allen got to the wall. Run out of bounds at the Ram 40. Good return. And no flags. Look out, folks. Atlanta's back. It's 17-0. The starts for the stopped Ram offense from their 11, their 22, their 37, their own 8, and a 22 again.
Boy, that's a long football field to play on when you're starting down there. In contrast to the Atlanta Falcons. They've been down inside the plus 50, I think, on almost every start.
That's how the Rams won half of their early games, was taking the other guy's ball away from him.
Did you see that shot from the blimp?
Oh, that's the McDonald blimp. Under the golden blimp. 1st and 10 on the 40. Archer with the screen to the Billy White Shoes Johnson. Good defense, maybe a couple of yard gain. Let's go to Brent Musburger. Brent?
Well, Brookie, the Bears have still got it going now, Dick.
The boom is in. We saw the shotgun get started against Detroit and almost pull the game out for the Cowboys.
Those Bears are intense.
They seem to play with more people on defense than the other teams, like 30 guys. 2nd down and 6 on the 36. Archer to Stacey Bailey. Short of the first down. Ram defense has got to cut it loose. They've got to maybe steal the ball and somehow ignite the offense.
You're going to see how a defensive corner of the quality of Leroy Irvin does not even gamble on the little short hitch. He just comes up there and rallies and waits for help. He's going to get squared away, see him square, keep a nice base. He's going to make sure he makes the tackle. Don't miss on Stacey Bailey. Keep him propped up a little bit and get a help there from the inside pursuit.
It's going to be about a healthy yard to go. Archer now 7 of 14 for 40 yards. It's a lot of throws for him this early in the game. But they lead. Riggs for the first down and more. Nolan Cromwell making the tackle there. You can see Henning. Gary Petz on his left.
Watch the offensive left guard right here on this play. Lucky, nice job of coming off in there on the linebacker number 63. That's Jeff Keewell, starting left guard out of the USFL. You know, there are 73 players in the out of the USFL playing in the NFL this year.
They're getting paid cash in this league.
Yeah, they like it, too.
1st and 10 on the 28. Going in, the Falcons are shocking the Rams. Archer. Billy Johnson, short of the 20-yard line, the 20-yard line. I believe that's Stacey Bailey across the field. I'm sorry, right in the sunlight. And some kind of a nice catch.
Again, play action pass. Watch the quarterback here. Going to make a little fake. See him make a fake? Makes the linebackers flow. He's looking now, throw back across the field. These are dangerous throws. It's a long time in the air, but he does a nice job. And Nolan Cromwell, 21, and Gary Green, number 27, come up and make the play. Stacey Bailey.
A player is down on the far sidelines. A Ram will try to find out who that is. It might be Gary Green.
They can't afford to lose a corner. They already have Eric Harris out and brought in Tim Fox, the veteran out of San Diego and formerly with New England, to fill that position.
Okay, we'll be back in a moment. 4:55 left before halftime. It's a shocker, 17-0. Hi, everyone. I like to look down and see my name, Tom Brookshire, and Dick Vermeil. And this is our vantage point. We thought you might get a kick out of seeing how we're here on what's about the 40-yard line at Fulton County Stadium. And we can go right through to the action right there. You a little bit shocked at how well Atlanta's playing or how poorly the Rams are playing?
I really do think the Rams aren't really as motivated as they should be, and you may see that change as the game wears on and they totally realize the circumstances they find themselves in.
Well, you know what Johnny Robinson said, though, about Atlanta was he said the only team that blew them out was Washington. He said they played Dallas and everybody else as tough as you can play them.
I credit Dan Henning for that. He says if he's going to go through an adverse season, he likes going through it with the kind of people he has on this roster.
The young ones. They're the second youngest team in the league. We're talking about Atlanta. Archer is 8 of 15, and he's got a second down and 3. The misdirection handoff to Gerald Riggs, and he's tackled for a loss of a yard by Mel Owens. Scores elsewhere around the league. Tampa Bay, the Jets have really getting to pour it on now. 24-14. They're not at half. Pittsburgh, a good team. Look out for them in that Central Division. Indianapolis improving, and Miami sort of stagnated this year a little bit.
Last time those two teams played, it was a Miami rout. So you can see that Indianapolis has improved.
Archer has improved, too, the young quarterback for Dan Henning's Atlanta team. 3rd and 4 on the 22. Roll out. And well defense, but still on his feet is Archer. Nailed at the 22-yard line by Mike Welcher, and I mean put away.
You can't take too many of those, Dave. You're a tough guy, but get down on the field.
Welcher measured him like he was going to give him a suit.
This is a play-action run all the way. See, Jeff Kuehl, number 33, the guard, pulling out. I think it's an option run pass. He's out there. In fact, it doesn't look like he wants to throw. Now he's going to reverse pivot. He thinks he's back in college at Iowa State running the option play. Look at the ball in one hand. Get on the ground. Get on the ground. Don't take on those linebackers.
I watched Welcher, and he was eyeing him all the way across the field, but enough for a first down.
You know, he does run the ball well, as you said. He came into the ball game with 213 yards running. But when you subtract the yards that he has lost being sacked himself and subtract the yards of the return interceptions that he's throwing, his rushing yardage then is not nearly as impressive.
Was that before today? I guess
that's before today.
25th in passing, and so far Archer's passed pretty well. It's 1st and 10 on the 18. Cliff Austin is in the game and gets the handoff. Austin dancing around and still gets inside the 15. Good piece of running.
Yeah, he's nifty in there. He's nifty. He hasn't carried the ball many times in his career, only 23 times, but he does a nice job of bouncing around in there.
Now think about how long the Ram offense, our defense, has already been on the field today. We're not even at halftime. They've been out there the whole game.
You can see Mel Owens, number 58 there. He's taking a deep breath, but these guys are in superior condition. Those linebackers and that front seven, that whole defense, they're superior conditioned athletes, and I don't think there'll be a problem.
2:45, as you see in the insert on your screen, what's left before half. The surprising Falcons. Wow, 2nd down and 7. They lead by 17 points. Riggs dragging people inside the 10-yard line. And one of them was Nolan Cromwell.
Now, how'd you like to be a linebacker or defensive back and have a big offensive tackle that weighs 285 pounds like Freilich, number 79, pull out there and get in front, and you have to whip him as a football player? Look how big this guy is. Nice job of opening up holes out there, putting pressure on those linebackers, Tom.
And you've got to get to Riggs before he makes the corner. The Capitol Building here in Atlanta. A shot from the McDonald blimp. It's a beautiful day. It certainly is a game of numbers. Chicago, see, 12 points a game. The Rams were allowing only 15.1. 15 and 1/10 points per game. Already Atlanta has 17 points.
Now here's two quarterbacks, Dieter Brock and Jeff Kemp, number 9. They look a little bit concerned, do they not?
They should. The Rams have 42 total yards. Atlanta 147. It's 3rd down and 1. This is a big play for the ball game, folks. Riggs and Tyrell are in there, in the eye. Play action pass. Archer dumping and missing.
Good job on Archer's place right there. Not take the sack. Shorter field goal if they're going to go for it.
Now are they going to go for it?
I think I'd kick the field goal now.
Here comes the change. Here comes Luckhurst in.
Yeah, I think that's a good decision.
There's Frisch, the special teams coach.
Yes, and a good one. Played for George Allen with the Washington Redskins. I remember him coaching against him, an intense, fiery type guy, and the kind of guy that ought to coach special teams.
And ought to play for George Allen, right?
Yeah, you bet.
5 of 6 from this distance. This is a 27-yard attempt. The quarterback, Archer's the holder.
He's 5 for 6 from this distance this year, only missing 1.
Didn't miss this one. Boy, Los Angeles is going to have a lot to talk about at halftime. Let's go to Brent Musburger in New York. Brent?
Well, Brookie, it's a rout right now.
The way you might stop the Bears, not let them get to the stadium they're going to visit.
I'll tell you, you throw 2 interceptions in one football game, you're only going to win 1 out of 3 of them. So the odds are already against the Dallas Cowboys in that one.
Now you're talking L.A. offense. Are you talking anything now before halftime? Field goal from 50 or anything? Is that what you're thinking?
The biggest thing a score could do for them right now, other than close the game up really and make it tighter, is giving them an emotional lift going in there. But they need something. They've been sleepwalking a little bit, and those turnovers, you can't turn the ball over. They come in plus 13, Tom, and right now they're minus.
And, you know, they've been flirting with it all year. They didn't have an easy time beating Denver. They had trouble beating Philadelphia. They beat the heck out of Seattle one night, but they had trouble with Atlanta the first game. Minnesota almost beat them on the last play of the game. Tampa Bay, they needed an Irvin interception to win it. The Rams have been sort of flirting with disaster.
Well, they started out slowly because of the running back situation. They've had offensive line problems, too, Tom. Let's take it here.
Ron Brown will touch it down 8 yards deep. You think Luckhurst isn't fired up?
You know, and so many times I've seen that. You know, you're tied up 3-3 in the 4th quarter, and he runs one to the 20-yard line. This is normal kicking. I mean, this is what I've seen in my experience as a coach.
Your own
Then you
kickers.
get hit 40-0, and the guy boots one out of the back of the end zone. You know, geez, you wonder what they're drinking on the sideline.
We've got a flag down on the sidelines right now. You can see that Frisch and Luckhurst are talking. Here is our friend, Mr. Frederick.
Kicking team was offside. Number was unreported.
An unreported offside. How can you call
re-kick
it?
with a 5-yard penalty.
That is very suspicious.
5-yard penalty. And they
This
want
guy-
your number. Don't forget, the NFL today with Brent and Gale Sayers. The magic number 40 for Chicago is there.
You know, we've got a guy of the same caliber sitting over in the booth next to us, and the former great running back, Dick Bass. Dick Bass. Could he run a little bit?
Boy, he was the all-time Ram rusher for a long time till Eric came along.
I saw him play his last game of high school football, and he scored the first 5 times he touched the ball. So help me God, against Napa High School.
Well, who was the defensive coach on the other team?
I was in high school at the same time, Coach. I wasn't coaching. That's the truth. The Vallejo Apaches, he ran in the short punt formation. Really, they snapped him the ball back there. He ran the opening kickoff that for a touchdown.
Time of possession, 7 minutes for the Rams, 18 for Atlanta. That doesn't mean a lot unless you're trailing 20-0. Back deep now, Brown and White.
Mick said he didn't want to kick it to Ron Brown. Let's see if he kicks it the other way now. Well, he kicks it to Ron Brown.
Brown and White exchange spots. This one is even deeper.
Mick. Hey, look at that guy.
And he's a south leg kicker.
That Luckhurst, I don't know, but I want some of what he's drinking down there. I'll tell you, he's got some power in that leg.
Back to serious action. The Rams have only 1 first down. We've been showing you the shots from the McDonald blimp. throughout this first half on a beautiful, beautiful Sunday afternoon in Atlanta, Georgia. Dieter Brock has been the quarterback all the way. Not his fault, but not effective. Barry Redden is in there. He's the lone back. Brock, time. Tony Hunter to the 33-yard line. And a hurry up. They'll use their timeouts later if they have time for them. 1:39. As you can see, the clock still running.
That Tony Hunter gets one more catch. It'll be his 100th in a short career. He's really a gifted athlete. I like watching him play that position.
The Rams desperate for any points now. Something to build on at halftime. In and out of the hands of Bobby Duckworth.
I didn't know Bobby was going to play. I thought he had a bruised shoulder.
Tiger Green found him on the sidelines and made him cough it up.
Tiger Green. You know, his real name is George. What would you rather be called, Tiger or George?
As a cornerback, Tiger.
Okay.
John Robinson knew this was going to be difficult. They've lost 2 of the last 3 games. One to New York when they led most of the way. They beat New Orleans, and we saw San Francisco come in and score first and beat the Rams. That's the problem. Dieter Brock across the middle, wide open is Duckworth. Inside the 45.
Did you see how Duckworth was carrying that ball? Oh, my gosh, he had it out in one hand.
Now the Rams burn one of their timeouts after a 22-yard aerial. Brock to Duckworth. Looked like a quick post. Dieter Brock, the 34-year-old rookie in the NFL.
This Duckworth is a big play receiver, averaging 23 yards a catch in his career, and a touchdown catch every 6th catch. But he should not run with a football tucked out like this. Now watch him. He's going to run with the ball in his right hand. Now look, he's going to wave it out there. Look at that. Loaf of bread. You know, all the guy had to do was tap it. It's another turnover. I bet Coach Robinson's going to give him a little chewing there. Tuck that thing away. That's my contract you're running with.
Jeff Kipp, number 9, who started and went all the way against the Giants in a losing effort a week ago, and he's one of the good team players, the young man from Dartmouth, talking with Dieter Brock.
Well, the first thing I'd be alert for as a coach, I'd say watch out for the blitz. You're moving the ball. You've moved it nicely. Watch out for the blitz. If they blitz you, try to get rid of it quickly. And I'd be thinking of throwing one more first down pass and then trying to get the next one into the end zone. And then it gives me the 3rd down pass to get the first down.
Robinson with Steve Dills and Kemp helping have passed the word along to the man from the Canadian League that's come south to Southern California. Not stardom yet, but he looks like a gamer.
You know, you've got to realize this. He's a rookie in the NFL. I don't care how many games you play in the Canadian Football League. It's not the same.
The 1st and 10 play. Brock throwing, going for Brown, and it's intercepted inside the 10 by Tiger Green. The 11th interception for Dieter Brock, and Tiger Green made the interception.
Focus your attention on the quarterback, and you'll see why the throw was a little bit short and therefore intercepted by Tiger Green. He's hit it, I think, just as he threw the ball right there, seeing he couldn't really follow through, and therefore the ball short, and Tiger Green comes up there and makes his 2nd interception of the year.
Big pass rush by Rick Bryan. Rick Bryan was the pass rusher that forced that bad throw.
Was that Bryan? Here's another angle. Look at nice coverage, but the ball was underthrown. And Ron Brown, you've got to throw it out in front of him. But I really think the rush caused the short throw more than the lack of strength in the arm.
And the secondary has been maligned by so many people, including their own families in this town. What a great interception for Tiger. Darrell Riggs getting outside on the first play.
You know, you just mentioned they're being maligned by their own families.
Yes.
This is a true story. You know, when I was coaching, you always get heat when you lose. You know, I'd get in the car leaving the stadium about 6 o'clock in the evening, drive home and get away from it. And the first thing my wife would say, Dick, why did you do that inside the 20-yard line? It took me a little while to say, hey, get off it.
Who's the real coach here,
Who's
right?
the real coach here? Tiger
Green. 2nd interception, a leaping one, and boy, will these Falcons be happy to go in at halftime leading 20-0. Riggs has 67 yards. Adds a little bit to that amount. minor altercation there as the two teams engage. I always said that if the offensive and defensive line, if there wasn't a huddle between football plays, there would be a fight on every single snap.
Good point.
They have to go back and sort of regroup, or they'd still be after each other.
That guy just gave me one right in the chops, you know. And I think you're right. You have that's a little time to bring yourself back in control. How about playing corner in the NFL? Did you ever have that problem with a receiver?
Well, I used to try to start fights. You yell across the big guys and try to start a little action, you know. Here you can see that Dan Henning, and as we said, his practices were very composed. They were not like a team that is 1-9. There was no pointing the fingers from one department to another. A very smooth-looking operation, you know, that he's trying to maintain.
And one of the best ways to read that is by visiting with the players in the locker room. You know, and I didn't hear one player moaning or complaining or pointing the finger at another teammate or saying, hey, coach. And I've heard this in locker room. Boy, this coach is really bad. You know, I've heard that kind of stuff. Not these guys. And I just hope very much they give Dan Henning the opportunity that the Rooneys gave Chuck Noll. You know, his win-loss percentage was 285. You know, 12 wins and 30 losses after 3 years or so. Hey, good coaches come out of this adverse situation.
Well, and we know that Rankin Smith's a patient man. They've only had 4 playoffs in over 20 years. So I think it is, and the press seems to be firmly behind the young coach in his 3rd year. Here's the inside handoff. Joe Washington. It's going to be pretty close. Closing seconds of the first half. A shocking one for most people that follow pro football on a regular basis. Not surprising if you've been around it as long as John Robinson has or we have.
I'll tell you, the one thing you always talk about as a head football coach coaching a playoff caliber football team is you cannot allow an inferior football team to beat you, because somewhere along the way a football team just as good as you are going to beat you anyway.